Ladies and gentlemen, the American Jury and Bulldog Nation, I want all of you to know what my big picture education thoughts are. I think everybody in Kentucky knows, just like what happened down in Virginia, that education is taking a front and center stage as it relates to state issues. First and foremost, I believe in a strong public school system. That's necessary. However, I also believe in a strong private school system. Folks, you know what? You're going to get straight talk from me. There's exceptions to the rules. We all know that. But everybody knows that private education delivers an experience that public education does not. I want the strongest, best possible public education for the students of Kentucky and their parents. Why? They deserve that because the Kentucky taxpayer pays for it. Kentucky deserves that. At the same time, I want to make it to where children can have a choice, parents can have a choice to get that private education if they so prefer it. It's that simple. I'm a product of private education. I went to public education in law school, and I went to public education in the first grade. My children are a product of public education. My grandchildren are in private education. There's all mixed bag. It's just different preferences, different times, different families. I also believe in an incredible overhaul. I want to do big things, folks, good things. Now, I took German for 3 years at Covington Latin School, and I still have retained very little of German. But everybody knows that Germany, and I don't know, I haven't checked to see if they still have this system. I'm assuming that they do. But Germany had a really neat system, and it was this. Everybody did the same thing up through like the 8th grade for comparative purposes. Now, what are you supposed to have? What should we count on for our teachers in our schools by the time a student is an 8th grader? They should have good basic 3 R's, right? An 8th grader should be able to read, basic math, basic social studies, basic civil stuff, English, writing, all those things. Then what Germany does is they say, okay, they do it, I don't know how they do it, but they do a termination. You are going to head to a university. So this is their last 4 years of secondary education you get. And those of you that aren't heading to a university, you're going to get this education to prepare you for the real world. I came up with this idea many years ago. And I know that we have in a lot of our schools, we have these programs, you know, for training and whatnot, and you have business alliances. I know some of that goes on, but not on the scale that it ought to be. Do you know what every public high school should have? Every public high school shouldn't just have shop. Every public high school ought to have the ability to train students for a plumbing trade, an electrician trade, an electronics trade, so forth, and construction trades, so forth and so on. There ought to be rooms designated for this, teachers designated for that, in the biggest way possible. Ladies and gentlemen, the American Jury and Bulldog Nation, why should we not let children who know they're not going to go to college not waste 4 years of high school taking algebra, chemistry, biology, so forth and so on? Why should we do that? Let's have them hit the ground running straight out of high school. Now, somebody said this to me when I've been challenged with this idea. Well, what if somebody changes their mind? We can set up a mechanism for that. They can go to school board. I personally don't see what the rush is for people to get an education. You graduate from 17, you can have a mechanism where somebody, if they change their mind, Okay, they stick around an extra year, whatever. You figure that out. Folks, that is a winning plan for what our macro economy needs. No critical race theory, folks, being taught in these schools. We need to teach American history. Now, I'm game with teaching American history. I am not for tearing down America with critical race theory. It serves no purpose but negative purpose. Parents involvement in schools, I'm all for it. It's your tax dollars. It's your kids. I can't believe what McCullough said down there in Virginia. Now, relating to COVID, I just want to tell you my position. I will not require masks and vaccinations of kids in school, high school, or college. It's ridiculous. This is the bulldog. Every dog has their day. Just giving you a partial overview of my education ideas.